LinkedIn newsletters, the benefits, the strategy, and how to repurpose so that you can use it across other platforms. That's what I'm going to be speaking about today in this video. My name is Dee Boswell-Buck, and I'm the LinkedIn strategist at Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting. What we do is we help senior leaders and entrepreneurs use LinkedIn to connect with their ideal clients and earn more revenue. So LinkedIn newsletters, like I talked about, we're going to cover the benefits, the strategy, and how to repurpose. When it comes to using LinkedIn, I would have to say that this is one of my most favorite ways to share content on the platform. And I'm going to walk you through the back end of what it is that I do when I share a newsletter on LinkedIn. Now, right now, you are looking at my profile. So I've got all of my screens open. I'm going to walk you through what it is that I do every time I share a newsletter on LinkedIn. Now, why LinkedIn newsletters? Well, when you launch a LinkedIn newsletter, what LinkedIn does is that it announces it to everybody that you are connected to. So just think, if you've been on LinkedIn for about 4 or 5 years and you are now connected with 1,000 individuals, you might be connected to 500 individuals. Well, most likely, not everybody remembers that they are connected with you. Now, the great thing about a LinkedIn newsletter is that when you launch that first newsletter, it's like that wake-up call. It lets everybody know, everyone that you are connected to, that you have launched a newsletter. So just imagine there's 500 people you're connected to or 1,000 people that you are connected to on LinkedIn, and they don't quite remember because you haven't been showing up in their notifications. Well, with a LinkedIn newsletter, when you launch that first newsletter, it announces it to everyone. So that's what I love about it. It's that great wake up call where everyone's like, oh my goodness, I'm actually connected to Denise. Oh my goodness, I'm actually connected to Ted. So that's why I highly recommend that you launch that newsletter. Now, note, a newsletter is similar to a LinkedIn article, but you don't get that boost of reach with that LinkedIn article. So let's walk through the rest of this video. Now, I've been sharing LinkedIn newsletters for quite some time now, and I'm just scrolling through to show you the newsletters. Now, I'm going to click into one of these newsletters that I shared. I'm going to click into this one that says, are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? Now, when you share a newsletter on LinkedIn, I would recommend that you think about what are the questions that your target audience tends to ask about, because you want to share content that is something that people are very interested in knowing. You want to share content that addresses a pain point that people are going through. And one of the things that you can do is you can go through and think about some of the questions that your clients have been asking you. You can think about some of the pain points that people have said to you when they've reached out to you after booking that call, or you can use Google. So perhaps you know of a particular pain point that your target audience is going through. Well, if you put that into the search bar on Google, you'll get a drop down of all the most popular questions that people are asking with regards to that initial question. So there's that tip. Now, here is a question that many people tend to ask. What is the right time to post on LinkedIn? So let's click through. That was a newsletter that I had recently shared. And with your LinkedIn newsletter, you can have a great banner that really pops. And in this case, I had a picture where I'm looking at my watch. So are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? And then when it comes to my LinkedIn newsletter, I treat it differently than how I treat my newsletter that drops in everybody's inbox. Now, on LinkedIn, you are able to build your network. You're able to create a network of individuals so that it will serve your business. Those individuals would be individuals who are your ideal clients, potential collaborators, and cheerleaders. I call those cheerleaders individuals that you have met at a networking event, individuals who are at your workplace, etc. These are the individuals that, because you are connecting with intention, they're most likely going to care about what it is that you are sharing. Now, with your newsletter that is dropping in the inbox, that might be individuals who come to your website, or it could be individuals that are on your email list from when you started your business. Perhaps your business has evolved. And so when it comes to sharing content on LinkedIn, I think about who or who is in my community on LinkedIn and what is it that they really care about. Also, when it comes to my newsletter in my inbox, I don't like to go long. When I share content in my inbox, I keep that type of content very short, and on LinkedIn, I dive a little bit deeper. So, this is the newsletter that I shared on LinkedIn. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? Scrolling down. And what I do is I like to share something, like I like to share a little bit of a hook. And then what I do with that newsletter is I go through and I will highlight some areas by bolding some fonts, making it in italics, putting it in bullet points. So I do it in a way that it's very easy to read. And then with the LinkedIn newsletter, when I get down to the bottom of it, I share a call to action. Now, usually whenever I share a call to action on my LinkedIn newsletter, I will link it back to my profile. Now, again, with that LinkedIn newsletter, I mentioned that when you launch that very first one, it lets your entire network know. And then when you are sharing your newsletter on a weekly basis, then it's not sharing it out to your entire network, but it is sharing it to the individuals who are most likely engaging with your current content. Now, what I do at the very bottom is that I always have a call to action. In this newsletter here, I said, ready to attract the right audience on LinkedIn? Then let's connect. And like I said, I will link it to my profile. And I don't just choose like one word or a couple of words. What I do is I will link it through most of a sentence at the bottom of the call to action. Now, that's one thing that I do with that LinkedIn newsletter. Another reason why I really enjoy LinkedIn newsletters is because you can add search engine optimization at the back end of it. Now, why is that important? Well, just think about when people are Googling a question, when somebody is Googling that pain point. Well, because LinkedIn is a professional platform, it has great credibility. So what's starting to happen now is that when people are searching to solve a pain point, when they're searching for a particular, like they're doing some research on Google, what is beginning to happen is that LinkedIn newsletters are starting to show up as the as the content that people can look at to read. So let's take a look at this back end of my LinkedIn newsletter. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? Now, I'm just going to go to edit article, and it is going to this area where I can edit the article. I click on manage at the upper right hand corner, and then I go to settings. And when I get to settings, you can see where I have added SEO. So I have my SEO title. And when I think about my SEO title, I think about like what is it that people are putting into Google when they're searching for some type of information. And I already shared some tips already on how you can do that. So I did some research on the title. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? And then you are able to share a description, but you got to keep it nice and tight. So think about some of the things that people want to see when they're doing a search, and you've got 160 characters to do so. So here's my title. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the wrong time, actually? And I didn't make it as are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? I made it as are you posting on LinkedIn at the wrong time? Whenever I think about building a title, I like to make titles that are a little bit triggering. I like to create titles that are pointing the finger back at that person so that they say, oh my goodness, is this about me? So here's my SEO description. This is why scheduling content at the best time of day is often the wrong strategy. Discover a refined approach to get your post in front of your ideal client. After that, you can save it. So when individuals are starting to look for what is the right time to post on LinkedIn, then my goal is for my LinkedIn article to show up first on Google or on any type of search engine. So this is why I love using LinkedIn newsletters. Now let's go to my next step. Now, this is where I talk about reposting your content so that more people are coming to your website, or when someone gets to your website, they stay on longer. This reduces the bounce rate. Bounce rate meaning that how long is somebody staying on your website? So after my LinkedIn newsletter goes up on LinkedIn, well, now it's time to go into repurpose mode. So here is my website called dboswellbuck.com, and you can see that on my website, I have it as a blog post. So now when somebody is coming to my website, they want to learn more about me, they can come to my website and they go to my link called resources. And when they get to my resources page or my resources link, here are all of the posts that I have shared previously on LinkedIn. Again, not everyone's going to find me on LinkedIn. I hope so. But if somebody is Googling my name on Google, or if they're looking for me on a search engine and they're looking for a LinkedIn strategist, well, then they're hopefully they will find my website. They'll be able to go to my website and also go through all of my content and also go through the blogs that I have. So here we go. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the right time? And again, it's content that I'm sharing on my website. After we share it onto my website, we take it over to Pinterest. Yes, we use another social media platform. So here it is on Pinterest. You could find me at dboswellbuck. And here I have my Pinterest account saying leverage your content on LinkedIn. So when somebody comes over to my Pinterest account, or if somebody is using Pinterest as that search engine to find some information about how it is that they can leverage LinkedIn or how they can ensure that they are sharing their content at the right time. Well, when they're keying in those keywords on Pinterest, then they're going to come to my Pinterest account and here it is. So these are all of my LinkedIn newsletters that have gone to my website. After they've gone to my website, we post them up on Pinterest. So here it is. Are you posting on LinkedIn at the wrong time? Opening it up, and here it is that we give a little bit more of an introduction, and then it just links right back to my website. So Pinterest, we're using it to drive more traffic back to theboswellbuck.com. And then, yes, there's more. What we do with that LinkedIn newsletter is that it eventually becomes social media content. So here is a Google document that we create. And what we do is we take that LinkedIn newsletter that becomes a blog post that goes up onto Pinterest. And then we turn it into 3 social media posts. So basically, what we do is we will just put it up into AI. We will ask AI to make it into so many characters and help us just to refine it. So it is for a great post for LinkedIn and for other social media platforms. And what we do is that we will save it onto this document. So here you see, we've got a post 1, we've got a post 2, we've got a post 3. And then we even go further and we create it into LinkedIn newsletters or newsletters, I should say, that we are going to send to our actual email list that goes out every single Monday. So there you go. That is my strategy that I use for LinkedIn newsletters. And those are the benefits of your LinkedIn newsletter. That is how we apply strategy so that not only is it getting in front of more individuals on LinkedIn, but it's also getting in front of more people off of the platform. And then these are the ways that I repurpose it. So tell me what you think, share it in the comments below, and I'm going to be sharing more videos like this. So I would love if you could like this video and subscribe, and I'll be back to share more tips on how you can leverage LinkedIn for your business. Thank you so much for watching.